Hello everyone, my name is Nathan, and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included in the Ultimate Base 3.0. Guys, today I have something special in mind. Well, actually the preparations for something special, but what I would like to do in the next couple of episodes is basically explore the entirety of space. Now that we have access to infinite precious metals, we should be capable of elevating this game to the next step. I mean, we could have done it much earlier, but I've talked about it multiple times. If the series doesn't go quick enough for you in terms of progression, you're absolutely invited to wait a couple of episodes or just check out the titles, and then you know when something interesting is happening for you. One thing I would like to initiate right at the beginning, because that is gonna take a couple of cycles, and that is basically to finish the research. We're gonna completely finish everything in terms of technologies so that we can go and launch ourselves into the proper mid and end game. We should have more or less everything ready except databanks. We only have 47 databanks left. So maybe let's research everything. No, that's not the research button, but let's go ahead research everything that doesn't require the databanks just yet. So everything with applied science research only, that should actually work out. We're gonna avoid the orange for now, if we can. Maybe there's nothing else left without orange. There's one. Oh, actually I cannot queue up the researchers. Totally forgot. So we'll have to do one after another. No problem. I will have my researcher taking care of that. And in the meantime, if we have some carbon dioxide here, yes, I would like to collect some data modules. So let's have a look inside of here, check out what we have to do. Let's maybe fill this up with, I don't know, 20 kilograms of berry sludge. We have a mess table here, and we're actually dependent on algae to produce oxygen. That is not good. On the other side, we still have 20 tons of algae in here, so I'm not gonna worry too much. We also have plastic in order to produce the orbital data, so yeah, we should be fine. Let's just go ahead and launch this bad boy. Ellie should be the crew. She's still in there. That's good. Let's change the target just to go into orbit. I believe that is enough, right? And then we begin the launch sequence. And there she goes. Hopefully. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and equip her suit. Right now she's doing some telescoping. Wait a second. She doesn't have a bed. Okay, well, I guess she's gonna survive that. So we can already do some of the exploration here, and I guess collect the data banks once there are no more tiles to explore. While this is happening, let's go back to Glowani. Hassan is still busy taking apart the old design here. You mentioned actually that the pipe below here, the railing actually here, should be a steel rail because the liquid will drop down. In my testings it never occurred because I believe I had enough steam in here, but maybe we should still make sure this is not a potential problem. So we're gonna exchange that with steel, just the one below the actual spawning point. So in the end, these two rails should be made out of steel. To get in here, I'm just gonna re-establish my liquid lock in a very simple way, remove these two tiles and then do it. I also noticed this aluminium volcano finally became dormant, so we will be able to analyze that as soon as possible. Oh, actually it looks like our thermal aqua tuner here is already going for it. What did I set this to? Let me actually see. 10 degrees, okay. Yeah, and the cooling loop we built in the previous episode seems to be working, and we'll be able to expand that whenever we need. I also just noticed I completely ran out of coal. This went really quick. Yeah, and no juice available. Is that a problem right now? No, not a problem. Good thing we actually switched the designs. I wanted to tap into nuclear power to mitigate that problem, but you came up with a better solution, not to use that much power. We're still gonna do nuclear power, don't worry. I still think we're gonna need a little bit of help, so I'm gonna send over a couple more tons of coal. Maybe I should just do a switch here so I can send larger amounts without having to do it myself. Let's check back on Neptune. Ellie is now producing the data banks, which is great. Exactly what I wanted to see. Also, right here, did we do some research already? Yeah, a little bit of novice research. Okay, nice. Back to Glowani. Let's quickly do that here with the water. Exchange that rail, and then this product will be finally done. Oh no, Hassan just started to research the volcano. You can do this later. I want to exchange the rail first because this guy here is going to be active in 10 cycles and I don't want to forget about it. And now remove this tile here. And are you building? No, research. I want you to build this rail. There we go. And Ah, actually the auto sweeper is picking it up already, so we can close the room and be done with it. Nice. Good job, Hassan. That was very clean. Thank you very much. Now he can go research the aluminium volcano for the rest of the cycle. Let's check back at Vivani. I never see Devin in here doing some research, but whenever I come back there's some research done. So, I mean, just how hard can it be to capture that footage? And holy cow, check this out. I never checked back at the Baum here. How is this even possible? Wow, that's interesting. I never noticed just how much the magma got sucked up here. How? I don't even understand it. Like, shouldn't just everything solidify? No, apparently it got turned into items here as well. And the same thing here. So not everything gets turned into the full tiles. I kind of want to know when this actually happened. So let's just go through the various stages here of the main base. Actually, that's kind of interesting to watch anyway. So I'm gonna leave it be for you. Maybe speed up a little bit. Okay, this is still gonna take forever as 1 second seems to be 1 cycle, but I just wanted to see the point here. So I don't quite understand how we could lose all that magma just by sucking out the heat. Well, I've never taken it this far with a geothermal power plant, so honestly I don't really know how it behaves. But yeah, enough of that. There are some statistics. What do we have most of? Wallpaper. Total work time, duplicates, nothing too intriguing about this. Well, I guess let's go ahead and move on, not question this too much. Maybe some of you have an explanation as to how this is actually possible, because I don't really see the mass that has been lost here in the debris. It's just very little. It's like some of it almost seems gone. I'm making this so much of a topic because this is actually a problem for me, because I was thinking, yeah, we still have about 500 cycles left, but this looks like we do not have that amount of time now. In this case, one of my next goals is going to be to replace this power plant with a probably petroleum station. We just need like 4 generators in order to replace those steam turbines. And then on crude deal we have all of this oil. So we could, for instance, take this minor volcano. Maybe not a minor volcano. Do we have another one? Just the one volcano. Okay, we'll have to do with that one. But we can make a mini petroleum boiler in order to fill a petroleum engine. And then this petroleum rocket is gonna move back from this planetoid to the main planetoid, then also providing oil. And then right here we have a couple of options, for instance this minor volcano, or we still have the volcano up here and the volcano down here that we could use to produce petroleum out of oil. Of course we can also go the traditional way and just accept a 50% loss in materials, and all we have to do is build an oil refinery. So maybe that is going to be the first option or our emergency option, and then we have our sweet time in order to actually build the petroleum designs. I wanted to rebuild this room here anyways. So the volcano is then going to release its matter all the way over here, and it can dribble down. Here we can already start with the petroleum boiler. So that would actually be a very nice project to integrate into the base. For today, I want to focus on finishing the research as well as doing all the designs here. So I want to finish researching all the volcanoes and rebuild the designs so they are going to work flawlessly the next time those guys come out of dormancy. The gold volcano right here is going to become dormant in 4.7 cycles, and then all the volcanoes will be dormant for a brief time. Okay, we're back here with the gold volcano going dormant in 5 seconds, so I'm already starting to deconstruct this. I made just a little addition here, a very simple one, and I'm gonna add that to each design. Basically, we add a little shaft here that we're gonna make into a vacuum, and inside of this shaft we're running the cabling here. So in the end, there's gonna be no possibility for heat exchange between the steam room, the outside, and the steam turbine room. I originally didn't really intend to do this, but it is more ultimate, so why not? All we have to do is set up a mini gas pump, for instance right here at the bottom. We're then gonna run some gas piping to the top. We could also go to the bottom, but who cares at this point? Aluminium ore right there. Let's see, in order to build that, we need to have access, but once we pump this out and it's already powered up, we just leave it in there and it's not gonna be utilized for the rest of its existence. The first thing again we have to do with this gold volcano is going to be to securely mop up the liquid so we can remodel it to the way we want, and we are going to do the same thing with the aluminium volcano. The volcano here at the bottom is going to become active in 31 cycles, so we have plenty of time to actually take care of everything. Voila, there is another pump going for it. It's almost already a vacuum. Maybe we'll have to sacrifice this beta hive. Actually, let me see. We need this space here. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be really close. And you also let me know there's actually ways to make beta hives spawn if you totally run out. But as you can see, this is now secure. I don't want to see the warning icon though, so let's suppress it. Looking at this, I think we could more elegantly reroute the pipe this way in the future. And then we can also easily connect these two contraptions. And I kind of want to make sure we do the walls here as soon as possible, so not the entire biome starts to melt. Oh, actually, well, we might have messed that up already. Research completed. That took a little bit longer because Devon also heavily focuses on plant harvesting. Anyways, we are gonna continue, and whenever we do another research, I'm gonna let you know. Enclosed telescope. We might be able to reach much further with that one on individual planetoids. I just noticed we only have about a turn left until this system here kind of needs to function, and I haven't even completed it. What was I thinking? I even closed off the room here. This is so funny, but it's actually easy to get in there because I only need to build things like on the top 2 layers here, so I should be able to access it from the top. So right here we're just leading it through our steam room. In case this one is a tiny bit cooler, we can already get started with some cooling. And then here is going to be the final cooling, the final temperature that we want to reach. And to be quite honest with you, for that we probably want our liquid shutoff again. So I'm actually going to make my way in there, build a liquid shutoff and the automation needed for that. This also means for now I only want 1 liquid reservoir. Looks like one is empty anyways. Oh, hang on. Looks like we actually reached the desired temperature here of 15 degrees, so it's not happening anymore. I actually did not think about the possibility that we cannot have an endless loop in here. What if we just bypass it once we don't have the space for it? I mean, I never disabled this liquid vent, so in case the entire chamber here is full, we can just go ahead and bypass this directly into the liquid reservoir. And it's only gonna happen once the chamber is full. Either way, we have to make our way in there and fix some stuff. Okay, slowly but surely we're getting somewhere. It does look a little bit chaotic right now, but after we've built everything, we can clean it up. I decided to not do the check inside of this chamber. We're gonna do it outside. And as a matter of fact, instead of having this here, I would like to skip this layer so we don't heat up the water in case the items are still too hot. So if we set up a conveyor bridge here, we will skip the water layer, and we also have the same one here going down. Ooh, actually that's not possible. We have to do the check first. So that means we hop over here, have a thermo sensor right about, yeah, let's have it there. So we're gonna need a conveyor shutoff next, and then we can still not skip the water. So I do have to build this one further down, my bad. Thermosensor goes here, rail goes up, we have our liquid shutoff there, rail goes down again, and now we have the space for that bridge. Let's also already do the cabling, so I don't forget about that, and then we need a bypass in case the temperature is fine. The bypass here is going to be fairly obvious. We just join the line, and do we want to alternate here? In this case, I guess that would actually be fine. We also provide some power, and that should be everything. I also moved the liquid vent away from the liquid pump, so we have a better distribution of the temperature, and we're not pumping out the cold water directly again. We also did some more research, I believe. Yeah, we completed the previous one. Let's now continue to the small petroleum engine. Yeah, the rest of the research projects are all gonna take all types of research stations, so it doesn't matter at this point. Oh, and I totally forgot, the gold volcano is now active. which is very nice. So the water will start to heat up at this point. And of course my gold is going through the loop. Right now it is being cooled down tremendously, and it is just bypassing at this point because it needs to wait. And the reason it needs to wait is because we're not shooting. There's no reason not to shoot at this point now. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish this off camera so we can take care of the next step. In the next episode, I would like to be able to do an awful amount of exploration. And we could either do this with a RADBOLT engine, I'm not 100% sure, or with a petroleum engine. Yeah, as a matter of fact, our exploration rocket really should be a RADBOLT engine, also because we already have the infrastructure to actually fuel up one of these rockets. So in that case, we might want to set up a secondary system like this to feed our RADBOLT rocket. Or we could just use the existing one here. I mean, we're not using it to its potential yet. So what if we tell this guy to shoot into the other direction instead in order to fill up a rocket that is situated here? How much space do we have? Yeah, that should be plenty. That is actually an interesting idea because it would allow us to go ahead and do this exploration thing with the rocket already in the next episode quite easily. And this would allow us to come up with a plan to go ahead and build this petroleum boiler in order to fill up petroleum rockets that are gonna go fly back and forth between the main planetoid and the crude oil one. Also, we will need the petroleum to replace our steam engines here, have a nice and reliable power source. Nice, I'm actually looking forward to this. I think that's the way we're gonna do this, and all we have to do is finish the research. Right now I'm doing something else, but the next one is gonna be our RADBOLT engine. Okay, looks like we're now getting many deliveries. I've made some substantial progress here on Gloani. We're almost done, and then I'm gonna clean up, but I'm not gonna show you more of that process because, let me actually check one more thing. How many data banks do we have? Over 100, that is nice. But let's switch now to the main planetoid and already get started with that RADBOLT rocket. We can store 1,000 RADBOLTs in here, and very often this is just laying dormant when I don't need to send emergency materials. So now I added this RADBOLT joint plate here. This might potentially be a little bit dangerous, but we'll see how we want to solve that in the future. For right now, I'm just going to be happy if I can actually make an awesome exploration rocket for the next episode. So what I'm gonna do now is take a little bit of mafic rock and then we guesstimate where exactly we need this thing to be. As a matter of fact, I'm probably gonna start it as soon as possible, and also we need to check just where the connector is for the RADBOLT engine. And we can only do that once we've actually done the research. So I've finished the jetpacks, we now have access to those, but we still need plenty of research here in the RADBOLT propulsion. So instead, I'm actually gonna look up a picture. Hang on. Okay, it looks like it is on the 6th block of the engine. Let me see. This would be the wall. So right here we have another one of these plates probably. So now we need to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would be the flooring. And on top of that, we can have our, where is it? Rocket platform. Right there, build this out of whatever, have that right here. And now that is exactly 6 blocks. Let me check the picture again, I just don't want to fail with that. Yes, okay, that should be right. Wonderful. Now let's just make sure we can make our way over there and start building. We also need to take apart 2 of these solar panels. Right now this is our only connection to the main grid, so we cannot cut this off. What we can do, however, is finish this room. And we can then take our cabling and just lead it on the outside. That is gonna do the trick. I'm gonna do some obsidian wallpaper here at the bottom. And then we probably need to switch to drywall. Let's use some mafic rock for that. Actually, we don't need to switch to drywall. It doesn't matter that there is a vacuum here. We're just gonna do everything with obsidian wallpaper. I'm such a fan of the black, though I really shouldn't overdo it. No, the base is still colorful enough. Just before I forget to show you with the project from before, I made the bypass now. So it goes into the liquid vent here, but then bypasses with a bridge. If I didn't use a bridge, it wouldn't work because I got confused somehow. Like there would be a possible bypass from both directions and it just doesn't work this way. A bridge going over and then just one single pipe going back prevents that from happening. But back to our RADBOLT engine project. I'm gonna go ahead and tell Ellie to actually fly back. We can deposit the data banks we already have. And actually, if we check here, we didn't even use that much carbon dioxide. We can send up the rocket a couple more times. We're also gonna collect the data banks already, and then we can use it to finish the research. Thinking about it, we will also have to reroute our pipes somewhat. Also, the copper wiring here might actually melt. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna have a little safe margin of, I think it was about 9 blocks or so. So maybe up to this point, we don't want to do anything with that area, just maybe use it as a heatsink or something. So the cabling would now be routed this way. This here would become a closed off room that eventually we can use for small amounts of power production. We're making good progress here on Vivani. I'm gonna open this up here, so we still have a way to actually go to the solar panels from this direction. But now, as soon as this cable is built, I'm gonna disconnect these two parts so the rocket can fly through the center. And the same thing here with our pipes. So everything is fine and dandy again. And now we can just build up the walls in order to contain the heat whenever the rocket launches or lands. Well, looks like I already used up all the data banks. Yeah, we need to send Ellie back. She slept well enough now for 1 or 2 cycles in a comfy bed. So we're gonna send her back again on a mission to collect those data banks. Yeah, but now you know what my intention is for the next episode. We are definitely, for sure, gonna launch a RADBOLT rocket. We're now prepared for it, just need to do a little bit of research in between this and the next episode, and we're golden. In the meantime, on Glowani, I'm almost done. I'm now finishing both of the last 2 contraptions. Actually, this one here just got finished. So all we'll have to do is a little bit of cleanup and ensure that we have some backup power whenever we need it. But yeah, with that out of the way, I would say we're gonna wrap it up for today's episode. Really looking forward to the next one that is gonna launch on Wednesday. And I'm gonna make it my goal to at least explore as much as possible from the starting planetoid using this rocket. And I'm also gonna make my best efforts to finally tap into the crude oil / petroleum projects. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time and see you in the next one. Bye bye.